Welcome into another Fountain Report conversation. I'm Matt Bubala, joined today by Dr. Nick Athanasiou. He is the head now of Telion Animal Consulting. You've been in practice and in the business for over 30 years, helping people in strategic accounts and other things, corporate practices. Tell me what you're doing now.
Yeah, so thanks. Glad to be here, Matt. I'm very excited to be working with clients across the spectrum of veterinary medicine, both smaller pharmaceutical companies and veterinary service companies, and doing some consulting and working with people that I care so much about after spending so much time in the industry.
Telion Animal Health Consulting is the group now.
Yeah.
You've done work with large veterinary groups. What is the status of things right now, especially with these large corporate groups that are around now?
Yeah, things are starting to change a little bit, and certainly what we're starting to see is these larger groups are starting to shift from relationship and price and product being the decision levers. Those are still all important. But we're really starting to see the largest and most evolved of these groups, and some of the smaller groups as well, and maybe even some of the smaller independent, some of the larger independent practices, take on a little bit more of an enterprise mindset when they make decisions about what vendors to do business with. And what I mean by that is they're actually starting to think a lot more like human hospital chains about not just what you sell, but can you sell it and support it and scale with me as I grow. So really starting to see much more of that coming into the decision-making process.
What's driving that change? I mean, forever we would think it's going to come down to the bottom line and the lowest cost is going to win out. Are things just so tight now that there's very little differential, or is there a deeper change going on?
Well, I think scale, right? So certainly these practices have gotten to the point where there's so many locations that they have to think about it a little bit different. So scale is one thing. I think private equity coming into the market space has really introduced a level of rigor and discipline that maybe was not quite there. There's a higher threshold for risk that people are thinking about. So really risk mitigation and compliance are things that are also important. And I think those are the primary shifts that we've seen that have kind of moved us from kind of the old style of selling to the new style of selling, which is really more enterprise related.
Okay, so if it's more than just price, what are the corporate groups really looking for from vendors right now?
Yeah, I think they're looking for a few things. I think first and foremost, they're looking for integration. Can you integrate with our systems so that we can communicate effectively at the hospital level, at the region level, and at the national level? So I think there's some integration that they're certainly looking for. I think they're looking for the ability for partners to actually execute across their network. So do you understand our network, and can you actually implement your service or your product across all of our hospital groups? They're looking for data, right? And they're looking for data from a medical perspective, right? So give me good medical information about the product or service you sell, and provide me with good solid data about managing my business, because I need both. So data and information, I think, are really key and critical. And finally, they're looking for governance, right? So how do I escalate this if things go wrong? How do we take this up the ladder to get the right attention to it? Because the issue is a vendor problem when you own hundreds of hospitals can become a major fire overnight. It can create meetings and phone calls, and can get out of control. Even though it may be a minor thing, it can really create a lot of disruption. So I think they're trying to really mitigate that and make sure operations move smoothly. And I think the best at it are really looking at it from a much more holistic perspective. It's not just price and product. It's really, can you support me?
So where are vendors stumbling right now? Where do they need to do better for these corporate groups?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think some of the largest companies in the industry get it and have embraced that. I think where we're seeing some interesting application is in the smaller and medium-sized companies in our industry. In many cases, they look at these customers, these large veterinary networks, as sort of large independent practices. They treat them as such. And they're stumbling because they may have great relationships, they may have a great product or service that they're able to deliver, and they may even have great pricing, right? But what they don't have is the infrastructure to support it. And what you'll see sometimes is when a vendor loses a large corporate client, it isn't because of product or pricing or relationships. It's about infrastructure. So the experience fails, and that's why the partner goes looking for another vendor.
So if you're a vendor watching this right now, or somebody at a corporate group who's working with vendors, what should you be doing right now, taking from this to move things forward?
Well, I think certainly from the part of the sell side, the vendor should be really reflecting and saying, am I truly easy to do business with, right? So hold up a mirror and say, am I truly easy to do business with? And am I thinking about how I can scale with this partner and how I can grow their business in addition to mine? I think that's really going to be a key part of it. From the corporate hospital side, there's two things here. One, pay attention to the vendors that are really investing in your business and helping you grow your business, right? They may not always be the cheapest, but they may have solutions that can help you longer term. And then lastly, reward that, right? So if you want that, but all you do is work on price, then you're really sending a mixed message to the marketplace. So reward those vendors that actually are looking at these higher level enterprise partnerships.
Those are great takeaways. Dr. Nick Athanasiou, Telion Animal Health Consulting, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Matt, for the invitation.
You bet. That's another Fountain Report Conversation. I'm Matt Bubala. We'll see you next time.